There he is again. You guys have been asking for him.
No, they haven't.
They all asked.
I got a lot of pity comments last time. Oh yeah, we miss you. No.
Since we've last vlogged here, the stakes for their 510 game have changed a bit. There is now a $10 ante in play, which makes the gameplay ever so slightly bigger than a non-ante game, and also, well, theoretically, should widen people's ranges pre-flop since there is a bit more dead money to play for each hand. They've also removed the ability to straddle, which is a controversial decision to a lot of players, but honestly, I understand the points made by both sides of that argument. I didn't get a seat at the 5-10-10 game right away and played about an hour of 2-5 while waiting for this game. I didn't vlog it, but left the game up about $150. I bought into this 5-10-10 game for $2,500, and in my first hand, before getting recording even started, I fell to the guy for a $1,200 pot with me holding just top pair. That's why you see no one in the 8 seat currently. I've been at the table maybe 5 minutes before this next hand goes down. The hijack opens to $30, and I bump it up to $110 from the cutoff holding ace-10 of clubs. The button, to my direct left, cold calls my 3-bet. The small blind gets in there, and the hijack shrugs and tosses out the additional $80, now getting 219 to 1 on his money. Queen, 10, 9, rainbow. The small blind and hijack check, and I have middle pair, but a bunch of players still lingering around, 4 ways, board, this drawy. I'm not in love with it. I check, and the remaining players do as well. The turn brings the ace of spades and the small blind and hijack check again. Okay, now I like my hand a lot more. The board adding the flush draw is worrisome, but not much I can do about that. I bet $150. The button pauses, cuts out chips for a raise, and announces $420.
$420.
Both small blind and hijack fold quickly. Zero chance I'm folding 2 pair on this board with all these draws available. I call, praying for a good river card. A blank would be very nice. The king of spades is the opposite of a blank. It's a fully loaded, you probably aren't winning if he bets, Jamin, type card. I grumble internally and check. To my surprise, he quickly checks it back and tables ace-6 of diamonds. What the hell? I see this is what we're doing now?
So much drama in the LBC. It's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G. But I somehow, some way, coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. Hey, I pick a little something, yeah, for the cheese and make a few ends as I breeze through 2 in the morning. And the party's still chopping, cause my mama ain't home. I got bitches in the living room getting it on down. They ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice, laid back with my...
The session continues without much fanfare. Then again, we're only about an hour in when the under the gun player opens to $40 and the cutoff calls that open. This is when I look down at it. Jesus! You know, it didn't really cross my mind that this godforsaken hand would follow me across Las Vegas to different properties. From my position, with these 2 actions, the book likely says this is a raise. However, from my position with a brain, and a long history with this monstrosity, my book says, let's not this time. I just call the $40 open. If by some miracle I connect with the flop in any way, a pair, a draw, anything, then we will proceed. Uh-huh. What a surprise. Needless to say, I just fold when the cutoff tosses $100 into this pot.
Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. So turn off the lights and close the doors, but we don't love them hoes. Yeah, so we gon' smoke an ounce to this. G's up, hoes down, while you motherfuckers bounce to this. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money.
I get a bit out of line in this next one. Yeah, we're only six-handed right now, but opening 6-5 offsuit to $40 from the hijack, that's not necessary. The button calls and the big blind calls too, so let's just hope for the best. Queen 6-5 with 2 spades. All things considered, this is about as good of a flop as I could ask for, right? But before I can bet, the big blind, a pretty tight player in this field, leads for $70 into both myself and the button. Bottom 2 on this board versus him. I'm not sure this hand is something I would consider war ready. I call and the button folds. We're now heads up. The turn 3 of spades is a disaster. He checks, and I could possibly bet here. Versus him, though, that might not be the best idea. But it's an idea. I check behind. The river 4 of spades is just rude. To add insult to injury, he bets again, this time $200. Serves me right for opening this stupid hand preflop. Serves me right.
Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Here, the under the gun player limps, and I slide in a raise to $50 holding ace-9 of diamonds. Solid hand. The big blind decides this pot needs to be a bit bigger and slides in his own raise to $170, and the under the gun player folds. I could go all 3 ways with this hand. Call, fold, raise. They all have merits. Honestly, versus him, the best play would probably be just to fold. I have so many better hands to go to battle with here, but we find the call. 3 of spades, 4 of hearts, 10 of hearts. The big blind continues for $280. This isn't the flop, nor the action I was looking for. Easy fold.
Wash your face and comb your hair. It's a fine time. Ride, ride. Strut down the street with your red dress on. It's a fine time. Ride, ride. It's a fine time now. It's a fine time.
Big blind defense. You gotta do it. The button opens this one to $30, and I find the defend with 9-8 offsuit. The button should be opening all sorts of crap here. The villain being tight probably reduces a healthy chunk of that, but my hand is still a viable defend. Heads up. 5 Jack Deuce Rainbow. Nothing going on for me here. I check, and so does he. The turn 5 of diamonds changes things a bit. First, I have a lot more 5s in my defending range than he has in his reduced opening range. This guy is in opening hands like King 5 suited, Queen 5 suited, hell, 8-5 suited might even be a stretch. And secondly, I just have 9 high. I can't show up on the river with 9 high. That won't end well. And lastly, what's he gonna do if I bet? Like, for real. What is he going to do? I lead for $30 and that ends this hand. I opened to $40 from the hijack with ace 4 of diamonds, a very openable hand. The big blind defends. Ace of spades, queen of spades, deuce of clubs. He checks the flop, and having a decently strong hand, such as this one, to check behind with is nice. He gets a check from me. The turn 4 of hearts improves my flop strong hand to a stronger hand. To a more strong hand? You know what I mean. And now he leads for $70. I don't want to dissuade him from continuing on the river. I just call. The river 7 of hearts falls and he leads again. I was expecting a slightly smaller lead, so when he fires $200 into the middle, I think me raising here gets a bit dodgy. So I just toss out a chip for the call. He tables 2 cards. One of them is an ace, and the other definitely was wearing formal wear, but I didn't get a good look at it before the dealer swept them in. Needless to say, that was a good turn for me.
Killing me, Smalls.
Shut up! You're killing me, Smalls.
Oh my gosh. Perfect fucking thing. I mean, right in the corner pocket.
So you'd think after that debacle with 6-5 offsuit, I'd learned my lesson, but here we are opening from the hijack with 8-7 offsuit. Lesson not learned. Although this time it's different because the button calls. That means I win. He calls, I win. I know it sounds cocky as hell, but literally that's what I was thinking. Heads up, we see 10 deuce deuce rainbow. This means I win. I check, he checks it back. He has nothing. If he had even a pair, he'd bet here. That means I win. Turn 6 of spades. I lead for $50 with 8 high plus a gut shot, and guess what? I win. This is the mood I'm in today. Sometimes you just have to find the wins. A few minutes later, I get into another hand with the same villain. This time, it's him that's opening. From the cutoff, he makes it $50 to go. I defend from the big blind with 6-3 of clubs. Standard. Ace of spades, 4 of diamonds, 7 of spades. Besides holding a gut shot, not much is going on for me with this flop. Check. He continues for $50. Him c-betting means he has something. He was the type to check back air and bet made hands. You know the type. A gut shot to the theoretical non-nuts with no backdoor. This is thin, but I call. Bink. 5 of diamonds on the turn. I check again, and he checks it back. The river brings the jack of hearts, and with him checking back the turn, I have to bet here. I can't rely on him betting to keep himself from losing. My only hope is that he has something. Please, man. Have anything. Don't just keep folding rivers to my leads, for the love of God. I bet $140 and he folds. So I wasted binking a gut shot for nothing. Notice that as this hand is ending, a new player is joining the table in the 1 seat. It's about 8:15 p.m. It's now about 8:45 p.m., and twice action has folded around to the one seat on the button, and twice he's opened. This is the third time. That's enough. If card distribution has just favored him on the button consecutively, then we're about to pay a handsome price. I 3-bet him to $150 with King 6 offsuit. Let's fight. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought. Nerd.
Educational one here, but not necessarily about the strategy of poker itself. Just watch, you'll see what I mean. I opened to $40 in the cutoff with ace-7 of diamonds in the big blind calls. Typical stuff. On a flop of ace-8-4 with 2 spades, he checks, and I check behind with my middling ace. 9 of hearts on the turn, and now the big blind bet's $40. Well, that's why I checked the flop, right? I call. The 10 of diamonds falls on the river, and he leads again. $120 this time. Definitely a size that's repping 2 pair plus, but I don't often give credit to people for knowing what their bet size represents, as I think population is just kind of picking sizes out of thin air and firing that number into the middle. I call. I table my hand. He shows Jack-9 of spades. So he flopped a flush draw, turned a pair, then tried turning his pair into a bluff. Fair enough. Here's where the educational part comes in. Where's the pot going?
Wait.
Nine.
I had an ace. You
gotta slow down. Yeah, rough night.
I had ace-7 of diamonds.
Yeah, ace, help pair. Go ahead. It's his pot. He wins. Yeah. Here's the pot. Oh, they were hand ranking.
Look, honest mistakes happen, granted. This one was very noticeable, but you always have to pay attention, especially in raked games, that you aren't getting over-raked, that the bet and the call sizes match, for signals, for everything. Stay alert out there, people.
I hope. I don't know. That's all it's not. Right.
I told you, but this isn't really a hand. Like this is. I'm just making it up. Like yeah. I'm just trying to make shit happen with this.
You heard it. You heard it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it happen. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so funny. Please give me
Yeah.
more. Oh my god.
I should just punish this guy. I should just fucking punish him. I had the 9-7 off. I was dreaming, you know?
Much like the ones he was attacking my blinds, I was attacking the blinds of the players to my left. 6-3 of clubs, good enough. I opened to $40 in the small blind, who I sensed had enough of it, raises to $130. So far this session, I hadn't seen him do anything really out of line, so him raising here probably means he has a decent hand. Even with him being fed up with me, I don't see him as the type to just take 8-7 suited to the streets. I'm down for a little fight. Sure. I call. 5 of clubs, 10 of hearts, 3 of spades. He continues for $140, and that's a pretty good sizing for this board. but I have a pair and some potential backdoors. I'm not giving up the fight that easily. I call. The turn deuce of diamonds appears and the small blind checks. Although this card has shut the door on my backdoor flush draw, the board is quickly sliding into the favor of a calling range. All those hands with big aces and kings shouldn't really like where this board is going, and since I don't really give him credit for being cagey enough to do something slick, like check overpairs on the turn, I need to bet right now. A little for value, a lot for protection. I slide $230 into the middle. If he check raises me, I'm probably done. If he calls, well, we'll reevaluate on the river. None of that extra thinking is needed, though. He folds. The session is winding down, but I think we have time for another hand. Here the cutoff opens to $40. The small blind calls, and I get in there too from the big with queen six of clubs. Who knows? Maybe I'll flop a flush. It's possible. Six of spades, jack of clubs, five of clubs. The small blind checks. This flop? I think it's an understatement to say it has potential. I check to the opener and he continues for $100. The small blind exits here, but I continue via a call. The dealer pushes out the 9 of hearts on the turn. Check. The cutoff bets $200. Call. Dealer, look at me, listen. I want a club. Any of them left in that stub? If not, put another 6 out there. If you can't do that, at least give me a 7 or an 8. I'll fire at those too. The dealer doesn't look at me, nor does he listen. Instead, he goes his own way. Queen of diamonds. Sure, that works. Check. The cutoff quickly checks it back and says, you missed, right?
Check. Showdown game. Missed, right?
Well, I guess he was kinda right. In a way.
Two pair, queens and sixes.
But I somehow, some way, coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. May I pick a little something, yeah, for the cheese and make a
So
few
we switched it up tonight by coming to the Wynn/Encore. What do I have to say about this game? It was pretty good in the beginning. And then towards the end, it just kind of got not good. Positive for me, we got the W. I ended up this amount. I won't say it, safety. But now that the games are starting to pick up in Vegas, we'll probably be here a lot more. At least a little more. We'll be here more. But with that, I'm gonna get out of here, go home, get some things done, and we'll probably be back tomorrow, or Sunday, or Monday. I live here, I can just come back whenever. So, if you like the vlogs, leave me a comment, subscribe, and I don't know, something else. I'll get back to you. How do I not remember what to say at this point? Bye.